Welcome, this is the interview with Midwest and Midwest Mom.
Consumed by their dark fantasies, orchestrated a murder under the influence of death metal music. Defense arguments attempted to shift some blame onto the band Slayer, whose lyrics, they claimed, incited the violence. However, the court saw through the facade of external influence, holding Casey, Fiorella, and Delashmut entirely accountable for their actions. This verdict sent a clear message about personal responsibility and the limits of artistic influence. In the aftermath, the Poller family was left shattered, their lives irrevocably altered by the brutal loss of Elise. The community too was shaken, grappling with the understanding that such darkness could emerge among them.
Oh yeah, I love my uncle to death. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I ride for my uncle all the way, and the two reasons is because I know it's a heinous, horrible murder, and like my mom says, the reason why I wanted to do this interview is because I've never even personally this just stopped impacting all of our lives like maybe a few years ago. So, and the shock factor is always there. I mean, even if you're a random person and you think of those crimes happening to, just think of something like that happened to one of your loved ones or anybody that you knew. I mean, it doesn't take a few seconds and then you want to get out of your own head. So,
it makes me sick that I've been reading about it for the past 3 days.
I've been sick for the last 2 days. I mean, I haven't been sleeping at night. I almost went home sick today at work.
And you got to imagine is now you got to look at the other end, like you say, the other sword, right? Or the other end of the sword is that family has to relive everything every time there's a parole hearing. So now Jacob goes in July, right? And then Casey goes in October of this year. So it's like, imagine that.
What my mom failed to mention, and I know that Jacob wrote this to me, but what my mom failed to mention, we'll probably get it on a part 2, was Joseph Forelli tried to slip through the cracks. And just, and like I said, I'm not defending him, I'm defending the facts. Midwest's family, they lived it. Yeah, they're not gonna, we're not the courts, but anything that we know isn't really going to be hearsay because my family was told direct. We were primarily involved, not us, but the family was primarily involved. So my standing with it now is I think that he should get. I think that a part of me thinks that he shouldn't get out, and a part of me thinks that maybe it's too late. Maybe that if he gets out, does he still have enough time to right that loss? Does he still have enough time to, I don't know. And that's why I wanted to have this interview too, is because the last couple of days I've kind of been in what's that word? I've been torn a little bit. Part of me is because he's my family, and then the other part of me is I have a daughter. I have a sister. My sister has a daughter, like my mom said. So it's I think of them, and then I put my.
I'm gonna ask you what I asked your mom earlier, bro. Would you let your uncle babysit your daughter?
Absolutely not.
All right.
And he's probably watching this. He has an iPad or a tablet. Sorry, a tablet. Everyone says that. I mean, look at all the reports. He's mellow. He never showed any, I just.
Yeah, but also the reports say he tied her down, man, and they killed him.
When he's really young, like I'm saying, growing up, like when he was growing up, like really young, like my mom, like all the reports, they say there's never really any. I'm talking about like when he was like in grade school, riding the bus. He wasn't like torturing animals, like you said, your one buddy or.
Yeah, like Ethan.
He just wasn't. Yeah, there wasn't like he wasn't. He was the one getting bullied and stuff a lot, and so, I just don't see him as a. I see him as a I think, like I said, my mom said, I think he was being a follower, and but that's just. Then again, that just sounds like so light compared to what happened. But that where I stand with it, man, ultimately is so let's say if he were to get out, how would I handle that situation? I think we would have a phone conversation, and I would, just say, hey, I mean, I would slowly want to make my way back into his life, and just it's children killing children, and a lot of people are like, he killed an underage woman. Well, it's like, yeah, it's horrible. Yes. It was a child killing a child. It wasn't an adult killing an underage woman. Or you know what I mean? So
it was three fucking kids killing a girl. That's what it came down to, man. And
well, yeah, I'm just speaking on it. And if you're no good, you're no good. So I just don't see how someone lasts 18. And like Fetters was saying, oh, he must have slipped through the cracks, or no, come on, give me a break. Sorry, bud.
As soon as the DA attached that, of course he had to go off the active yard. Of course he was threatened. He had to be in isolation for 8 months.
Yeah.
Hold on. So then that is going to be in the paperwork?
The DA attached it, so they probably put it on the paperwork. Once they attach it, the DA overrode and just decided 20 years later, hey, let's put on this
20 years, and that's what I was trying to tell people.
20 years later, that's how corrupt they are, because they have no evidence.
Yes.
But they're able to just do it because they want to.
And that's why he's walked the main line, is because the prisoners, they're not stupid. They can see through the bullshit. Shit's happened to them.
Because it's on the paperwork. So then what?
No, I'm saying you can get you can get the paperwork from the beginning to see the evidence. It's evidence. If a DA just says, bro, so you're saying, bro, do you not understand there's a difference between fucking good paperwork and bad paperwork? Are you kidding me? Do you not know how the criminal justice system works, man?
100%. 100%.
I don't think you do. Have you ever been charged with something before?
Absolutely.
Okay. Wait, me too. So I'm gonna tell you right now.
Can I tell you something real quick? Because I don't know why you're getting snippy. First of all, because you're just like so focused on like me being wrong about the paperwork. Bro, I'm telling you, the paperwork your mom just said now says that
she said the DA No, she said the DA tried to slap charges. She said
your mother rewind the live, bro. Your mom just said it's on the paperwork.
Yes, from 20 years later, the DA tried to slap it on to keep him in prison. That's what she said, fool.
And I'm saying, fool, that the paperwork don't matter now because it says that he raped her. What are you not getting? Paperwork means nothing now. What are we going to do with paperwork that says he raped her if you're saying it's not true? But in 1997,
I'm saying
you keep saying
there's no evidence.
Your mom
was never charged with it. There's no evidence.
Listen, the DA can't just put charges on somebody.
Yes, they can. What are you talking about? They do it all the time.
Here we go. I'm going on mute.
You're out of your mind.
Bro, you're out of your mind.
You know the lawsuits there would be if DAs just added.
Oh my God, we live in the most corrupt. Bro, what fucking planet are you on?
What planet are you on, bro? We're in.
Dude, what state are you in? Literally, what state are you in?
New Age. Good luck with this guy. I tried, bro.
Yeah, no, listen,
bro.
Listen.
Hey, keep watching Unsolved Mysteries, bro.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. The one thing I disagree on that the whole prison politics thing is that the fact that he was a kid and he killed another kid, I don't agree that he should be lynched like an adult killing a kid.
Exactly.
Now that's prison. That goes to prison politics, and it is what it is, and there ain't no changing it.
So how come you guys are talking about every kid case that kills a kid and doesn't go to adult prison? How come that's not
me personally? That's where I disagree with prison politics.
Me too. That's what I was saying.
That's just where I disagree. He was a kid.
He killed a kid.
That doesn't change the crime.
No,
it doesn't change none of it. That doesn't change the facts behind anything, man.
Nope.
That's not. I'm not sitting here saying that the dude's outstanding, because I'm not.
No, he's
so
fucked
any
up.
motherfucker that's trying to say that I'm sitting here trying to play Captain Save-A-Ho can suck my fucking dick.
They're not intellectual.
What I'm saying is that's where I disagree.
But what I've heard from her friends in person growing up is Joseph was very, very, very obsessed with Elise.
That's true.
And that is true, and that you will find paperwork on. But like I said, man, for everyone out there,
can I ask you an honest question? And bro, I'm not trying to dig you apart, right? I'm just.
I've been through way worse. This is nothing. You're good.
How can you put that on him off an article and off of what people said because it's not your uncle?
No, because I've seen the paperwork, and I've
said that he was obsessed with her.
Joseph, yeah.
So you remember seeing in the paperwork that Joseph was obsessed with this girl, but you don't remember seeing anything about.
No, I know that I've seen the paperwork that the rape charges and the necro stuff isn't true. That's why I'm so confident. I've been to my grandma's house, babe. When were we at grandma's house? Two Christmases ago.
Well, I know your mom wouldn't lie, bro. She said that he ran to Maine, so I'm trying to figure this out. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's another thing. People just don't. And it's kind of like dominoes, right?
Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What about now? If we get this paperwork, right, and we find out that the other allegations are true. Does it change your outlook on this whole thing?
Well, if they I just don't see how allegations are true. How are you going to charge someone with rape, my man, if there's no DNA found on the body? I just don't see how.
Because he admitted to it.
Well, no, he didn't admit to that. He never admitted. The articles say that.
Hatred. That was the name of an aspiring death metal band made up of Arroyo Grande High School metalheads Royce Casey, Jacob DeLashmutt, and Joseph Fiorella. Well, they were Arroyo Grande High School students until each of them ran into their own turbulence with the institution. According to an article from Living Magazine, quote, Casey, DeLashmutt, and Fiorella were all troubled teens. Casey had been expelled from school, so he had to attend a continuation school. Fiorella was also being homeschooled after having problems at the public high school. DeLashmutt was also expelled from school for drug possession and swearing at teachers. Betting that the time was right, the boys lured Elise to a spot on the mesa, and one of the boys descended, enticing her to follow him, which she did. Fiorella then tossed the boys a knife and began to chant, "Do it, do it." But the overwhelmed teen froze up and couldn't go through with it. Elise, thinking it was some kind of joke, didn't report it to her parents. After the failed attempt, they continued to scheme about what they should do. Despite the lack of courage the first time, they were determined to go through with their sacrifice. They believed that this offering would please Satan and grant them supernatural abilities to play, and that they would be so good that a record deal was certain. A few months later, they would get another chance at their sickening task. At their end were the three boys. They wanted to speak to Elise. After a short call, Elise hung up and abruptly disclaimed that she was tired and was going to bed. Looking into her eyes, her father David knew something was up, but suppressed it and told her goodnight. It was a moment that haunts him to this day, as it is the moment he believes he could have saved her. Once alone in her room, she snuck out of the bedroom window and made her way to meet up with the group to smoke and hang out, thinking she'd be back soon. Alder, Casey, Fiorella, and DeLashmutt, after smoking and relaxing a bit, made their way to a eucalyptus grove on the Napomo Mesa. Once settled, Casey grabbed her, pinning her down as DeLashmutt removed his belt. He wrapped it around her neck, pulling tight as she struggled and fought. Fiorella produced a hunting knife, launching it into her neck over and over again. With none of the wounds fatal, she screamed for her mother and prayed out loud for God to save her. But all she got was beaten as she lay in a eucalyptus grove, bleeding to death. Once she was dead, the boys took turns stabbing the body. They then violated her corpse, reveling in the vicious act they just committed. They all then departed the scene, leaving her in that spot for 8 months, during which Delashment would revisit multiple times and continue to her body as it decomposed, according to Casey and Fiorella. Elise Poller suffered an agonizing death. It was slow. None of us should ever die screaming, not least of which, this poor girl. Allied with the darkened souls, Satan's raised and shall conquer and reign. However, as the months passed and his relationship with Fiorella and Delashment began to falter, he started to have a change of heart. He felt immense guilt and, according to him, had finally crossed to that other side he had been fighting and became a Christian. He feared that his change of heart was sensed by the other boys and that they may kill him to keep him quiet. With this, Casey went to the police and confessed everything, telling authorities every last detail of that night and leading them to Elise's body. Her family, while grief-stricken and horrified, could finally lay her to rest. Their investigation, the authorities also determined that the 3 teens had discussed engaging in sexual intercourse with Elise's corpse. This was corroborated by Joseph's mother, who told investigators that her son admitted to her that he and his friends had performed sex with the dead body of Elise. One of Joseph's friends likewise testified that the teen murderer had boasted of returning to the corpse to have sex with it. But why such a carnal desire for the dead? In another strange twist in this story here, Captain, we have Anthony Fiorella, the brother of Joseph Fiorella. He killed a teenager as well. This took place in 1998 when he shot and killed a teenager by the name of Garrett Hunter. Now, this was over a drug dispute. He was there to sell some drugs, and this was a drug deal gone bad, gone wrong, and Anthony Fiorella killed this other young man. Now, in regards to the 3 individuals that murdered their daughter, Elise Poller, the Poller family stated, "We want these predatory monsters to stay in prison for the rest of their lives." And we couldn't agree more.
Are you on the spectrum? I asked you this question, I think, when I first met you. I'm pretty sure you're on the spectrum, bro. There's no way you can not know these things and I know these things that easily. You literally just got the ages all wrong, bro.
Farelli was 18 years old. Royce Casey was...
No, Joseph Farelli was 15, you dumbass. 16. Royce Casey was 17.
Jacob Delashment was 15.
Jacob Delashment was 16. How stupid is this guy? You can get, bro.
Disgusting.
So, Meth West, rock on, bro. Rock on.
I don't even know why you're still on YouTube in the first place. You should have been gone.
Yeah.
You should have just left.
Necro West.
You're an embarrassment.
You should have just left, bro. Like, why are you here?
Great embarrassment.
And this dude has the gall to, like, do a live and be like, ha ha, like, fuck you, Dubb, like, ha 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 ha. Like, dude, worry about yourself, bro. Get your shit.
He's such an idiot.
Get your shit straight out before you start going.
Just kill yourself, bro. Just do the world a favor. Just kill yourself. We don't care about you.
Jump off. Just do it, bro.